Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Tuesday, December 28th, 2021. Still, people, we have to talk. I have a lot to discuss with you, so if you don't like longer videos, I don't know what to tell you here. Let's see what I can do with that. Anyway, people, let's talk. Let's start off with the market. So we finished mixed today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average put on a gain, nothing major. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is 1%, off of a new all-time record high. The S&P 500 fell fractionally, and we are a fraction away from a new record high with regard to the S&P. The NASDAQ, people, we are 2% off of a new record high. Now, you want to laugh. Let me explain to you what makes Greg Mannarino crack up. When you hear the narrative from the mainstream channels, oh, tech is selling off. Really? We are 2% off of a new record high. Are you kidding me? Anyway, we do have to talk about that. We got a warning today from some major fund managers on Wall Street. And to me, well, you know what? Hold that thought. We'll get to that in just a little bit because we're going to have a little more fun with that too. Okay, so on top of, again, the market finishing mixed, nothing going on here. What else do we need to pay attention to? How about the debt market, which is the driving force behind this entire freak show? Yield curve's looking pretty good to Greg Mannarino. 10-year yield, $1.48, relatively flat today. The relative strength of the dollar, looking at the Dixie. Okay, you all know that. Crude oil at $76 a barrel. The MMRI sitting at about 88.9 last time I looked at it. Again, link in the description of this video. I don't see anything going on here that would spook me in the slightest. But again, there are some that are trying to make you afraid. And I want you to laugh. You see, what you and I do is we laugh at fear because we understand that fear is freaking opportunity. What do people do when they get scared? Well, number one, they turn into brain dead zombies. Number two, they make bad decisions. And you and I are going to capitalize on that. You have to understand, you know what this whole thing, you know what life is about? Forget about trading, forget about the stock market, cryptocurrencies, which we're going to talk about, and forget about anything else. What life is about is making more correct decisions than wrong ones over time. You understand? Look, we all screw up. We all make mistakes, sometimes really bad ones. Believe me, I have my share of that. But if you just, try to make good choices most of the time and you're correct on those calls with regard to anything in life, well, you're going to do fine. It's when you make consistently bad choices over time is when you lose. You understand? And I know it's hard, people, in this environment with distractions and propaganda and misdirections and all the dog shit stuff that they throw at us day after freaking day. But that's where you block it all out. You block it all out, and number one, you stay positive, okay? You must maintain a good attitude. Once you start falling into some kind of a depressive state, well, you're just done there too. And then they win. No, we're never gonna let anybody win. You understand? You and me, again, like I've been telling you lately, we are the freaking resistance. And we are not going down without a fight. We're not going down at all. You understand? I mean, if you have an inkling, and I know you do, of how this market works, and I'm talking about the dark underbelly of it, okay? By following this blog, you can't lose. You can't lose in the long run. You're freaking invincible. I've told you this a million freaking times. So just get used to the fact that you're going to win, okay? If you just make the right decisions and you ignore the bullshit, the weekly or monthly calls from market crashes by imbeciles who are not even in the market. Some of these people, okay, I'm not going to mention any names here because you're probably going to know who it is once I just let you in on this little bit of information here. Some people out here, there's one specific guy out here who calls for like a crash every other month. He admits that he doesn't even own one share of stock, but meanwhile he's calling for a market crash every other month. What he's trying to do is, draw attention to himself, and it just makes himself look terrible. Honestly, I don't understand these people. Brain dead, trying to mislead people. I have no idea what their issues are, but they've been wrong over and freaking over again. And they're going to continue to be wrong because they don't know what they're looking at. If they're not in the market, like me and you, they just have no clue as to what's going on, nor do they care. They don't have to pay attention to it. Me, I have to pay attention to everything because I'm in this market. I got a lot of skin in the game every day in this market. I'm always moving cash around. You all know that. Anyway, so with that said, let us move forward here. Let's start with cryptocurrencies. Yes, cryptos fell under pressure today, but let me ask you, really, does this got you rattled today, honestly? Because, Greg, why is cryptocurrency tanking today? Tanking? Really? This is called volatility. The crypto space is freaking volatile. How many times do I have to repeat myself with this again? And then you got the imbeciles over here. Oh yeah, this is finally it. This is the top in Bitcoin. It's going to zero. And they have been wrong. Let's see. Let me calculate this. 100% of the time? Yes, they've been wrong. Always. Never once have these people been correct, and never once will they be correct because they don't understand what they're looking at either. Can't make it up. You can't make it up. Anyway, with regard to that, like I said, if you are in the crypto space and you are not expecting it to be volatile like we saw today, then again, you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it. People, look, how many times have we seen this over the years? Years! Okay, since I said to start buying Bitcoin at around 3,000. Over and over again, we've seen it go up and down and up and down. And it just, look, that's just the way it works. But in the long run, in Greg Mannarino's opinion, these are anti-debt units. You own them, okay? They're not owned by an issuing central bank, nor are they owed back to an issuing central bank, plus interest that they create a thin freaking air. All right, that's why Greg Mannarino, wherever he may be in this room, I think it's me, is a cryptocurrency advocate. You understand? Anyway, with that said, the same thing goes for gold and silver physical here, people. You own these things. They're anti-debt units, and they will remain that way. Let JP Morgan play their freaking games. That's fine. I smile. I really do. Anyway, gold fell under a tiny bit of pressure today. Silver did pretty well. And like I said, crude oil at $76 a barrel, going much, much higher. And this entire freak show is going to get a lot more freaky, people. All right, so look, with that said, I have some more things I want to cover here with you. So this morning, we found out, this is just, it's retarded. All right, I'm going to say the word that everyone seems to hate because I don't give a damn. It's just freaking retarded that we need to hear from the mainstream propaganda ministry, oh yeah, food and energy prices, they are surging higher. Oh yeah, inflation is out of control. Oh, but it's peaking too. It's surging higher, but it's peaking. Make it up. Go ahead, make that stuff up. If you tried to, you couldn't even do it. U.S. households here burying themselves in debt. Meanwhile, they continue to borrow. Explain that one to me again, people. I told you how this is going to play out. And if you think you've seen the end of that, you have no idea what's coming down the pike. None. It's so freaking sick. Told you about the energy sector today. People get in on this, okay? I really feel very strongly about this. I talked about the exchange traded fund XLE earlier today. I think XLE in the long run is gonna pay big. Especially in light of the cratering dollar, surging inflation, possible supply chain disruptions, possible, people. And if crude falls, what are they going to do? Refinery fire, bombing, missile attack. It'll always get propped up. You just keep on buying the dips and everything. So we found out this too about home. This is interesting, and it's the same story last month. So home prices continue to surge. As a matter of fact, up 18.4% month over month, and demand is falling. So let's see, supply and demand are not linked together. Well, why is that? Well, it's because, let's see, we're in a major inflationary event, which is about to get much, much worse. Oh, but we're peaking. We're peaking. What are they? Do they think we're retards? Honestly, you and me, no, we're not retards, but they think you are. People, let me sit down a minute. Just get comfortable, reseat yourself for a second. I always explain to you that the Fed is deliberately doing what they're doing, continuing to inflate. This is a central bank theme. It's a common theme throughout central banks. They're going to continue to inflate beyond your wildest imaginations. So what they're actually doing, people, by design, is inflating us into a doomsday scenario. Again, let's talk about debt. We understand that the world is awash in debt. We've never seen anything like it in the history of the world. It's a debt hyperbubble. But how about if this guy would have let you in on a little secret? I'm going to tell you what that secret is. There's not enough of it. That's the truth. In order to sustain where we are, central banks need to create more debt and more debt slavery. You understand? Even though, pay attention, okay, because this is crucial. Even though we are in a debt hyperbubble, there's not enough debt. Henceforth, why we're seeing what we are seeing here. Debt being created out of thin air at its fastest pace in history by world central banks. Why global debt continues to hit record high after record. It can't stop. It's the nature of the debt-based economic model, but you're not allowed to know this, okay? This is the big secret, that even though we're in a debt hyperbubble, there's not enough debt. In order to keep things just the way they are, more debt needs to be borrowed exponentially from the future. This is why every single president, the current retard president, the last imbecile president, and the one before him, all of them, did the same thing. They continue to call on the Fed to keep rates low, to pump money into the stock market, to reinflate or keep inflated stock market bubbles. Even though the last president, Trump did say the stock market was a big, fat, ugly bubble during his campaign, but he loved it when that stock market kept going higher, didn't he? And this newest imbecile sitting behind the Resolute desk, he will not point his finger at the Federal Reserve, who is deliberately creating a doomsday scenario by continuing to inflate. People, by design, this entire thing is going to calm down, okay? And we are going to see a wealth transfer on a scale that has never been seen before. That's all this is. See, the market is a wealth transfer machine. Cash just moves from one reality into another reality. You understand? And when you have markets that seem to be perpetually going higher, at one point they are going to go lower and they're going to overcorrect. And when that does occur, again, because of an implosion in the debt market, which we are going to have at one point, no doubt about that, all wealth is going to be transferred just legally from one group of people into another. And you and me are going to be on the right side of this, no matter what they want to do. We're already in risk-off assets, physical gold, physical silver, more importantly, cryptocurrencies, in my view. We're also long the stock market, so we don't give a damn what happens here. We're buying the dips along the way here. We're watching the 10-year yield. We're watching the MMRI, relative dollar strength, all the stuff I tell you every day. Okay? Nobody knows the market better than you do, except for me, maybe. And I let all my secrets out of the bag here, people. Okay? I don't hold anything back. I really don't. Anyway, I want to touch on one last thing before this video gets really stupidly long. So we're hearing from some fund managers here, and they are warning a little bit that they expect the stock market to underperform moving forward. And why? Because you say they must be drinking the dog shit Kool-Aid, or Kool-Aid mixed with dog shit, believing that the Fed is actually going to taper meaningfully, or that the Federal Reserve is going to actually raise rates in a meaningful way. This is what happens. Let me explain this to you real quick. You see, these fund managers, they're brain dead. Okay, you, as a follower of this blog, could run circles around probably every single fund manager on Wall Street. That's the truth. Me, I laugh at these people. They're imbeciles, all of them. Very few of these fund managers know what they're talking about. That's the truth. 90% of them aren't worth dog shit wrapped in cat shit sprinkled with bird shit. That's the truth. They're not worth nothing. Period. The end. And when Greg Mannarino hears that fund managers are getting bearish on the market, it makes me more of a bull. More of a bull. And we'll see who's right. Okay, let's see what happens moving forward, because nobody, seriously, has called this market better than I have for years. And I'm telling you, these fund managers, they're going to be wrong, okay? They're going to be wrong. And you're going to hear about entire hedge funds going down and evaporating and closing down, shutting down, because they're betting against the market. Oh, we always hear this kind of stuff. I don't know what these people are looking at. I really don't. Again, it's not so hard. This is not rocket science, people, okay? We just got to keep our eyes open and pay attention to what's going on. Anyway, all right, look, what else? I think that was it, really. And I don't want people to complain to me, Greg, you've been using too long, Greg. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with all this. Look, I think this video has been important. I think I covered a lot of stuff with you that you need to know to rip the face off of this freak show around us. People, we're never going to lose. We can't lose. We know what's going on. We know the games they're going to play. We know what they're going to do before they do it. And I don't know. I think we're sitting pretty. I think you and I could not possibly be sitting more pretty than we are right now. I want to hear from you. Do you agree with Greg Mannarino, wherever he may be? Where are you, Greg? Oh, that's me. Yeah, there is something wrong with me. Love all of you guys and girls. Mean that. I will see you in the morning.